Hello, YouTubers. We are jumping into a competitive, no, what do we call it? Traditional best of three chromatic cube draft on MTG Arena. I'm your host, Travis Semulin. I am also a streamer. Chat, say hello to YouTube. And YouTubers, if you would like to stop by the stream, you can do so. It's at twitch.tv/Semulin. You could also subscribe to the channel and get updated when the latest draft videos and other videos come out. I'm not a huge fan of Cube, but the Sweatsuit Invitational this week is Cube. And it appears that the thing to do in this particular chromatic cube is to take ramp and to take fixing and plan on playing 3+ colors. So we're not really looking to draft like a Boros aggro deck or mono black with Phyrexian Obliterator. We're really looking to like have a lot of mana and cast incredibly powerful spells with it. The only thing that we found so far in this cube that isn't that is a red-white equipment deck, which is something we could go for, but not necessarily something I feel we have to do. So initially, I'm not really looking for bombs. I'm looking for artifact-based ramp or fixing. Short of any of that, then we can start talking about a bomb. So the main thing that I've seen that green has going for it is, like in most cubes, green's like color consideration is you can ramp with it. And that's really not what it's doing in this cube. What it's doing in this cube is letting you cast all 5 colors, right? Because I can already play 3 or 4 colors without green. So green is just letting me cast all of them. I'm also not super interested in this ramp because it's creature-based ramp and therefore vulnerable. So this is a pack where we could just take a Thicket, we could take a Woodland Cemetery, we could take a Hallowed Fountain. There's not anything that I feel compelled to have, although Planeswalkers do seem pretty good in the cube. But I'm just going to take a Hallowed Fountain and see where we go. There's so many 6 and 7 mana win the game cards that I don't need to take them early. So again, really looking for artifact ramp primarily, and Chromatic Lantern is an excellent example of that. So I like Cavalier. Winona is very good in that red-white equipment deck. And we could take that and try it. But I don't think that's where I want to go, especially since we're doing a YouTube video. Like, let's just show the base idea of what the decks are wanting to be doing. Like, there's literally a picture of the Chromatic Lantern on the packs. That should tell you what you're supposed to be doing with this. We played a deck earlier with Noxious Gearhulk in it. It was pretty dang good. It's got some big, I believe Tommy called it big catch me up from behind energy. There's also a possibility if we want to get into incredibly big mana of taking the Mirari's Wake. And I'm not quite sure which of these I want more. I mean, going from 5 to 12 is kind of absurd. But killing something and playing a 5/4 is also incredibly absurd. I don't know, man. I'm kind of sold on this Gearhulk. After playing with it earlier, it's doing something that you just don't get to do in this cube, which is, again, catch up from behind. So Firemind Vessel is decent ramp. It's taking you from 4 to 7, usually. Which I don't hate. It certainly can be, Brownie. It can also be untapping and just not having much to do, which is sort of sad. We could look at Yorion here and try to build around a few things that we could blink. I also don't hate Gadrak as just a solid early blocker. Skittering Surveyor's okay too. I would consider the lands. I guess we could potentially take the Needleverge Pathway. I don't think I would want Emergent Sequence. I think that's sort of doing the opposite of what I want to do. I'm also somewhat tempted by Commit to Memory. Like, that's just a powerful effect. Yeah, but I don't want creature-based ramped. I think I do like the Yorion. I want to avoid creature-based ramp is the main thing I'm going for here. So this Dovin wasn't particularly good, was he? I mean, he's good at making an army of Thopters. If that's what you want to do. Mythos of Llama is pretty good. The Avon Wind Guide can certainly do something if you're looking to do a creature-based strategy and or tokens-based strategy. Like, I think there is a legitimately blue-white tokens deck in this. And I might be getting some signals that we should get into it. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of black to go with this. Well, you know what? Let's give this a spin. I think this is one of the archetypes, and I'd like to see what it can do. The Anointed Pouncer would be really good for that, but I don't think I can pass a Fabled Passage. So I'm not going to. Supreme Will is fun. Cultivator's Caravan is fun. Osri could be fun. I guess we default to the more open thing, which is the Caravan. Okay, now none of this is really coming by like I want it. What does this do? Whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment spell, I get a fairy. And it's a 2/3 flying death touch lifelink. Like, we could be doing Esper things, I suppose. I'd need to be casting a bunch of artifacts, which I kind of would want to be doing anyway. We could also just take Ibrahim, which is fine, if somewhat underwhelming. And then there's Nahiri if we want to, like, hard audible into that. But let's give this a go. Okay, so Callous Dismissal is decent interaction. I may just be on blue-white tokens. That would be kind of fun. I mean, Cavalier of Dawn is also pretty good, but like I don't have anything to do early game, and I'd like it. The sad part is I don't know that blue-white tokens is really going to take advantage of these. And again, I don't really have any tokens yet. But looking at that pack, I'm like, maybe this is something we can get into. And identifying strategies like the red-white equipment deck and a blue-white tokens deck could be incredibly valuable when prepping for a tournament. So we'll see the wheels here in a minute and see if I'm onto something. I should also be able to find some blinky-dink value. Currently, I don't have anything I'd want to blink. You can't blink tokens. Blinking this just turns it into a worse card. And I may also have gone off the rails. I kind of want to see that Dovin come back. Depose and Deploy could be a thing for us. It's making more tokens. If we're looking at something like this, I might be onto something. Sadly, I think this was the pack with Dovin, and it's not here. And this has me a bit worried. I suppose I could play Sarah's Wings. I'm just not excited about it. I could probably play Hall of Oracles and be excited about that. The Planeswalkers seem to not come around for wheeling unless they're incredibly narrow. Like there's a 3-mana Sarkhan that basically only Dragon decks would want. All right, so maybe we could do something with Jeskai things. I also don't know where my land went. But then Mythos of Llama and Hedron Archive came back. That's really interesting to me. I always love Magmatic Channeler, but I don't think this is for me. I also don't think that's for me either, but it could be. So Oketra is interesting in a token strategy. Mindstone is obviously pretty good too. Like this is making tokens when I cast creatures. The problem is I'm probably going to want a lot of spells rather than that, but I think this is something we would want here. I got to be careful how many 5-drops I'm playing, because I think Circle of Loyalty could also be pretty good here too. But let's give Oketra a go, because I think I'm just blue-white tokens. Banishing Light gives us access to a Kill Anything spell, which I definitely dig. I think I would play Alrund. I think I would play Karuga. I think I would play Tezzeret's Gambit. But I kind of want to explore this archetype and see if I'm onto something. There's a lot of cards that would be nice. I also feel like I kind of whiffed on not getting that Dovin and trying to push this. It was that Wind Guide that kind of put me in it. Because one of the things I'd suggested is that you generally want to be playing 3 colors. I just don't really have a reason to be doing that currently. Raven's Warning could be fun. It's probably not good. And I can probably I think I should be able to wield that. I don't think that's the kind of token that I'm looking for. So I could just take something like Baron here, which should be fine in this deck. This almost doesn't feel powerful enough. Like, I've fallen into a trap before when sitting down to draft this cube where I'm drafting it a little bit like a normal limited deck, and I don't think that's good enough here. Now, that could give us some powerful combo potential with the tokens. Those of you who've watched me before know that I usually don't like Cather's Crusade, but I'm finding myself in a deck that I think could probably use it. Because most of our creatures are gonna... Most of our spells are making creatures currently. So it's one of those cards where, like, it's 5 mana, it doesn't do anything, but it can really start to get work done. Tulane is nuts. Is it nuts for what we're doing? I don't think so. I think this is what I'm missing power-wise. Is, like, try to get ahead and slam the door shut. I'm not going to say no to a Bolus's Clutches while we're here, though. Like, that seems absolutely fine. If the Maskwood Nexus wheels, I might play that too. I also don't think we're banned. Rush Descent is probably not the droid I'm looking for. Of course, most of this pack is not the droid I'm looking for. That's a bit unfortunate. I suppose I could jam a counterspell if we need to. The Mirror's okay, but we're not really ramping to that much, right? Like our end game is 5 mana spells. I think I'm far more likely to play this. And I don't think I'm super likely to play it. I think right now we're looking at something like this. I think we would like a Charmed Prince if I can get one. Even something like Raise the Alarm would be of interest to me now. All right, so I don't think we're actually going to want the Giant. Which is interesting, because I think this is one of the places where I'd been drafting this potentially wrong. Like, we're a creature-based deck, currently. We don't want something in our deck that destroys all creatures. I think what we want is the cast out. And for blue to get passed to us in the next pack. Warrant and Warden's not bad for us at all. That's nice and flexible. Can use it as a removal spell, or we can make a 4/4 flyer. That goes right in with what we're doing. Yeah, so we've already got something to do there. Banish into Fable could work. Because we're probably going to have an artifact or an enchantment at some point, right? If I get to copy it, it's actually doing something. We can flicker the cast out. We could get something. Yeah, there's not a lot we're doing with Yorion right now. But flickering cast out and banishing light is interesting. Flickering Baron is obviously interesting. So I think it's at least okay. So here's where things get a little more interesting. Because flickering that would be fun. And just having Roshmi exist while we're doing things would be fun. But I think I'm ready to talk about Karuga. I've got enough permanents that it could work. This makes a copy of something I already have, right? The problem is so much of my stuff is legendary. I don't think we'd actually use that. Like, our deck is legendary. We might be able to use a Cosmina, and again, we could splash this, but if we're able to get this down as the Omen Keel and start connecting it, that's interesting to me. Do I want a Nexus? Probably not. What's interesting to me about this is because Yorion can flicker anything, right? Mystic Reflection could be interesting, but I think that's a bridge too far for me. Because if this can flicker anything, I could make this the boat, get in a hit or two with it, and then flicker it into the god side later if I want it. Hostage Taker might be so good to flicker that we want to try to make it work. I remember this being pretty good too, right? Because we can exile other stuff and bring it back. But like, we're basically there on playables. If I could get about 4 more duels, which would be a tight push, we could play this Hostage Taker and have something really interesting on our hands here. Because there's already a black source here, and I think I'm going to keep the Caravan. Yeah, let's give this a go. Maybe we were Esper all along. Alright, that would help. That would help a lot. I mean, this would help too, sure, but it does make everything a unicorn. But there's no reason not to have good mana in this cube. There's too much good mana. So Scholar's interesting, but not terribly good here. Because even, I guess getting Mythos, Scholar into Mythos is pretty nuts. Like, I could make our last 2 cards the Chromatic Lantern and the Scholar, and then just play Quasi-Duplicate and have, like, Scholar nonsense be our end game. That's not terrible. It means I'm probably not doing anything fun with the Hostage Taker. But this is starting to look like a deck. Oh man, I want so many cards out of this pack, I don't even know what to do. Because I think I'm currently on This Is the Deck. So I would be replacing something with something. It probably needs to be Angel of Sanctions and just let go of the Hostage Taker and This Is the Deck. Whew. Yeah, I think this is the call. I could also consider letting go of Kruga. There's the Raise the Alarm that I was asking for the whole time, which I think we're kind of interested in. You're probably not good enough, and my mana's probably not good enough to play you, but I do actually want Raise the Alarm. I think we'd certainly play the multiple choice. I'm worried about getting run over. And yeah, we got room for... There we go. Now we made the deck. Bay of Wishes would be very nice. I might be able to wheel it, but like, what would we get? Right? Like, currently we get Mystic Reflection and Maskwood Nexus. That's not all that great. It could be better. But if this is the deck, I'm happy with it. I think if we're not going to splash, that this is just better than the Chromatic Lantern, which kind of makes me sad. There's also Talron's Invocation, which is kind of cute. Like, it wouldn't hurt to take something from here and get the Talron's Invocation in. I think where we're going, this is better than the Angel of Sanctions. Don't judge me. I don't need your judgment. It's Arrows of Just Ice. I could maybe if the other thing wheels, the Fae of Wishes, we could play that, but I don't think it will.
What an interesting creature. Let's see how you work.
Vizier of Tumbling Sands is going to be better than the Chromatic Lantern now, so that's just an easy swap. Like, we are making our ramp more risky by playing the Vizier instead, but we're also giving ourselves the option to cycle it later if we don't need it, which I like quite a bit. So if the Fae comes back, we could play that and go get it, but I have kind of an issue with them putting this card in the set with literally no learn cards. I also apparently can't hover over it to show it to you. There we go. Like, it's the only lesson in the cube, and there's no learn. So you would just put it in your deck and cast it, I guess. I mean, you could do that, but why would you? I think we got something playable here. Ooh, multiple choice I think we want. What do we want it over? Maybe the Whirlwind Denial? I don't feel like I have to have a counter spell. And I think I'm still on board with playing the Fable, because I think I can copy it twice. For your cut, you have multiple choices? We sure do. Thank you, Martin. So I don't think this is exhibiting exactly what this cube wants to do. But I do think it's an archetype you can find in the cube, which I'm pretty excited about. Got a Stream Raiders update here. Well, Kruger triggers on 3 or greater, right? It triggers on most of our deck, right? Like, it would trigger here, would trigger here. These copies keep the casting cost, the Vizier. It would trigger on Cosmina, Banishing Light, Cast Out. Quasi-duplicate's an argument to take out. Like, I like the idea of quasi-duplicating the Scholar, but I think Renan may actually be right here. That I should just play the Whirlwind Denial and cut that. It looks like Stream Raiders got a little stock, so we'll play with Stream Raiders. Nope. Yeah, Stream Raiders is a little stock. I'll see if we can get that update sorted later. Is our mana good enough? 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, our mana's good enough. Other than I'd like to, you know, roll a bit. That should be sufficient. You know, I never get to play my Azoria sleeves genuinely. I don't think we've got enough to trigger the Mystic. We almost do. I could respect it. I think I'd like to stick with this and see where we go. I'll do the Stream Raiders battle when it manages to... Oh, it did just finish. Okay, cool. To battle. Curse these dudes and wreck them. Like the Mystic over Denial? I think you may be onto something there. Yeah, I might do that. Is that a juice box? Is what a juice box? Am I a juice box? I am not a juice box. Wizard with the kills, Balstrom with the assists, rewards for Thunderdan, Cousin Stompy, Wallet, and Techno Shaman. Huzzah! We did the thing. Everything's a sandwich. We've gone through this before, boys and girls. I think I like Renan's idea. I wasn't that sold on this anyway. So if we cut Whirlwind Denial and play the Mystic, if I'm keeping the Cathar's Crusade, which I think I am, this is just potential value. Why does it think we're green? Are we playing any green? Oh, it thinks we're green because of Karuga. Okay. We're not really green though, are we? You had a juice box that blew up. Okay. It's pretty good if I can hit the next land. And I'm planning on drawing a land, so let's do it. I really don't want to cycle my Vizier. I want to cast it next turn. We can make it 2-mana opt if we have to. That took Nerves of Steel, but I did it. That's how good at Magic I am. And Vizier of Tumbling Sands is an incredibly powerful Magic card. This hand has the opposite problem, but, you know, that's fine too. This whole... man... This is a 5-mana play, right? Yeah. We're probably looking to deploy and get in a hit with the Omen Keel if we can. Unless we just draw something and are like, let's do that now, because I'll do that now. Don't need another land. I don't really need this right now either, because that is kind of functionally a land. And we're about to draw plenty of lands here. Ideally. We whiffed, but okay. Yeah, I shouldn't have played the land first. I'm bad and I feel bad. I forgot what the Omen Keel did. It had been too long. I remembered you're supposed to play it on turn 2. That's all I remembered. See, here I want to play the land first so I can crew it with a Thopter token. So I'm playing the land first on purpose. Get in extra damages. Yahenni. Okay. And again... Oh, I guess I don't need to play the land first now. It's just kind of fun to do this, though, so I'm going to keep doing it. I do not believe my opponent is currently the beatdown, but they think they are. And that's fine by me. They also didn't put any land in their deck, which is weird, but... Boing. There you go, round one. Done. It does seem like things can get very snowbally very quick in this cube. Yeheni ha, yeheni he, yeheni ha, yeheni ha ha. I don't believe I'll be sending them an email. It has some potential. We do a good cat thing. You real good cat thing. Yes, you were. I probably should have played out the planes first so I have the option to cycle cast out, but I can't imagine this hand wanting to. I may be tapping that. Because I do need to hit a land drop one way or the other next turn. I also want to know why my butt opponents aren't playing butts. And now I kind of just want to cast out the Woe Strider. It can't sacrifice itself, right? Yeah, it can't sacrifice itself. They need to have Lightning Bolt for this to be bad, and even then it's not that bad. It's less than ideal. I don't need your lands. Charge! Ah, the end game has been commenced. They really hate that boat.
My magnificence.
They're just dead, right? It doesn't matter what we do here other than what we show them for next game, because I'm just going to bounce that and kill them. So, sure, you got me. You don't need to know about a Ketra.
I'll take what is mine.
Boop. Yeah, they wrecked my boat. Get dismissed, yo. So Bolus at the top end is a little scary. But their early game doesn't look amazing, which I guess is where we have the advantage. I might want to bring this in when we go on the draw. But I don't now. Not as strong as the last one because there is no boat life, but, you know, it'll be fine. Kinda don't mind both of these. But I kind of don't want to play much more until I can get the Cathar's Crusade out, which is sort of weird. I guess it means I could plan on casting out whatever they play next turn, then Cathar's Crusade, and then shenanigans. Yeah, I'll probably do some storybook this afternoon. I'm at least planning on it. That's probably worth going for. Even that if they get something better, we're likely to just take it. There you go. Cathar's Crusade, ladies and gentlemen. All right, cool. Let's see if we can get the 3-0. Maybe I broke it. I'd certainly be happy with that. Dude, you're kicking butt in Storybook, Techno Shaman. I don't even have 15 crowns yet. I got some work to do, yo. Good enough. French egg. Everybody grab a leg! Dungeons are back in Stream Raiders, eh? I didn't even notice that. We may have to do one of those too. Alright, let's just slow this down a little bit. I have to believe I can draw more spells. Because if we don't, we're kind of in trouble. Not precisely what I want here, so we're gonna just have to cycle you. That's a little better. Alright, they are now at big mana, and we're in big problem. And we don't really have much we can do about it. So we're gonna have to have a Yorion of Sadness. I suppose it's not the saddest Yorion I've ever seen. But this is not quite enough value. We're just slowing them down. We're not really doing anything. Because whatever they're looking to do, they can start doing it now. And it looks like they are looking to do great things. Then maybe their great things can't compete with a 4/5 flyer, but I would guess they could. Everybody grab a butt. It's a big Hydra. I believe we could say that's an arbitrarily large Hydra. I'm beginning to be concerned. I mean, currently the Hydra is the only thing that's really a problem. So, like, in theory, we could draw a removal spell for the Hydra, but they're gaining a lot of life and getting a lot of stuff in play every turn. Yeah, the hinge is really good for them here. But it's also kind of an example on this board of, like, I don't know why you would want green ramp cards when the best ramp cards aren't green. I mean, I get it hinge, but, like, they're ramping with a mirror and a Gilded Lotus. And here I thought the reason to play green was that you could get, play every color. They're just like, who needs the other colors? I'll just play green. Like, I can't really jump block that Hydra. Or this 8/8. Why is it a... Oh, it's going to be... Yeah, okay, stop. Joke's on you, you gotta discard the hand size. I mean, all we need is a Blue Sun Zenith and we got him, right? For those curious, they're at 12, and no, I don't think they're going to mill out. I could block this with everything I have. But I think this game's just over. I think we had a little bit too much Dirtle and not enough substance. Yeah, this game is functionally over. Because drawing Oketra is no longer good enough. Game over, man! There are no board wipes in this deck. I don't think it makes sense to play board wipes in this deck, because it's a creature-based strategy. We had the option to get one, and I passed on it. I think we just had a crap opener and got wrecked. Because the deck's been pretty great in all the other scenarios, but not that one. Let's give it another go. I still think this deck has the tools it needs to go the distance. We just got a little flooded, it's alright. That has potential. I think it can potentially carry us in our time of need. Well, this cube seems to kind of be like one person's playing Magic and the other isn't. I would choose pie over cake. I don't mind you. I don't need multiple choice right now. I need a lot of land. And you're functionally a land. What does that do? Kind of draws him some cards, maybe? Okay. The skies. Thank you for that, John. So we're even fairly happy with another land here, interestingly. The combo? It is arbitrarily large. It probably needs to be casted out. Even though I've got Yorian shenanigans. Yeah, I can get the Black Blade, which I think is the problem, right? Like, I can't get the land with this, but I can get the Black Blade, which is really, I think, what's the problem. Actually, it's kind of all a problem, isn't it? Good afternoon, Whittet. I just want to cast my Scholar. If I can cast the Scholar, they probably can't beat me. It sucks, I'm going to have to block with this guy, but I'm going to have to block with this guy. Gosh darn it! I just want an untapped land. Yeah, we can't really use cast out on anything now, so the right answer may be to cycle it and make sure I find that land. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think we're on chump block this forever, but I also think I can do that if I can hit the Scholar. And I'll also just kill them with it. This is probably going to kill me, though. Yeah, I think we might be in a little bit of danger here. Does this naturally have trample? It does. So clearly we would block here. Can I soak enough to live? That's 28, so 23 is coming through. I don't think I can soak enough to live. Turns out holding up cast out would have been somewhat useful. This is also turning me off from casting the Scholar. But I haven't done the math. I'm pretty sure I'm just dead right now. Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. Since I've been really focusing on this cube, I've managed to go 2-1, I think every time I've drafted it. I have not had a trophy yet, but I've been incredibly consistent at 2-1ing, which is better than where we were before. But I wouldn't mind getting to the point where I could sneak a 3-0 in. Maybe we're just saving all of that for the Sweatsuit Invitational. The good news is the 2-1s do get you your entry fee back, which is not normally how traditional drafts work. But YouTubers, thank you guys and gals for tuning in. I will let you see the Stream Raiders battle because I know that you all want to see the Stream Raiders battle. It's important. That'll give chat plenty of time to say goodbye to YouTube. Yeah, it is because you don't get any packs, which is great because I don't want any packs, but they're kind of forced upon you in normal set drafting. I love the Musketeer shooting corn dogs. That still just tickles me to no end. Well, the thing is, if you wanted packs, you could use the gold to buy packs, right? That's the part I still don't quite get, is like, why not just make it gold? Then everybody can get what they want. Rob with the kills, Lara Mathis with the assists. Rewards for Orcish Artillery, Techno Shaman, Lazy Jim, and Yak. Again, YouTubers, thank you for tuning in. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel and checking out the stream at twitch.tv/Semulin. We'll see you next time, YouTubers.